was a busy day in the games room, and two of my young people got into it. So I separated them, and I brought one of the young men to the back of the games room. I took a knee to get on his level, and I started running through my youth development strategies to get him to calm down. And in the middle of me talking, this young man yells, "Shut up!" And what was realistically about 10 seconds felt like 30 minutes of dead silence in that games room. I mean, I could feel the eyes crawling all over us, and when I looked up, I could see the pity, the embarrassment, the disappointment in those faces. And yeah, they were thinking exactly what I was thinking. What you gonna do about it? And then the thought started going. Kevina, you better show him who's in charge. No, but Kevina, he's a kid. He doesn't have emotional intelligence. No, Kevina, this is the final straw. But Kevina, he needs you right now more than ever. So I stood up. I walked him over to my supervisor's office, and I found me an empty program space, and baby, I cried. I mean, snotty-nose cried. I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I was disappointed. I was angry. I was tired, and I wanted to quit. See, as a youth development professional, they tell us that this is hard work, that we have to be there for every young person that walked through that door, that we have to pour into them. But who's pouring into us? At this point, I felt like I could just walk away from this thing. Somebody else could easily come in and run the club, keep that programming going. But then something happened. The pandemic hit. And something shifted in me. It was nothing to walk away from. I mean, at this point, we didn't even know how we were going to serve young people yet. I realized that I was about to lift the veil of my limitations. And although the road was not clear, I could see the possibilities. See, for the first time in a long time, I was able to reflect on and reimagine how we serve young people. I mean, we were running dozens of virtual sessions and pacing ourselves and able to take breaks in between. I was hosting drawing sessions for young people all across the United States, jamming out to lo-fi and nerding out to anime characters. I wasn't just imagining the possibilities for young people. I was imagining the possibilities for me. See, that incident in the games room woke something up inside of me. And the pandemic transformed that thing that woke up. According to organizational psychologist Dr. Tasha Eurich, 95% of people believe that they're self-aware. But the reality is, only 10 to 15% of them really are. See, self-awareness and self-transformation requires this intentional change of your overall mindset. Who do you believe that you are? What narratives do you tell yourself? See, I started to think differently. I was conscious of my thoughts. I was learning, unlearning, and relearning who I understood myself to be. I was challenging and addressing those deep beliefs that was blocking my personal growth. I was behaving different. I was saying no to the things that didn't serve me because I knew I had nothing to prove, and because no is a complete sentence, period. I wasn't so reactive. I was able to sit inside myself and observe my feelings and my thoughts and my emotions. I was seeing the world differently. I realized that I had control of what was happening inside of me, that I could narrow my focus on my circle of influence and what I was giving my energy to. I realized that my reality started here. And my perception of the world changed because my perception of me changed. What's blocking you from becoming self-aware? What is keeping you in this negative cycle? See, self-awareness is not a destination, it's a journey. And on my journey to self-awareness and self-transformation, there were 3 things that I did. And it's nothing you've never heard of. It was self-acceptance, meditation, and journaling. See, self-acceptance was my mental block, but I didn't realize it because I was so busy trying to fix all the things that I perceived to be weaknesses that I didn't make space for the things that I did well. See, as a black woman, I was culturally and systematically conditioned to believe that I had to work twice as hard as my white counterparts. That 100% was not enough, I had to give 150%. But I'm here today to tell you, I'm not doing that anymore. And then there was meditation, 15 minutes a day to myself. And it's not always easy, right? Crisscross applesauce is uncomfortable. I mean, sometimes I don't know what's louder, the mental chatter or the bones cracking in my hips. But seriously, it wasn't about always quiet in my mind. It was about sitting back in myself and paying attention to my thoughts. Because I realized the more I paid attention to the mental chatter, the less anxious I felt about things. I was able to align my thoughts with the reality that I wanted to live in. I read this book called The Untethered Soul, and there was an exercise in it. It told you to imagine your thoughts as someone outside of yourself. And what would you say to him? So I said, self, stop worrying about things you can't control, things that hasn't happened or probably will never happen. The action is now. Be present. And finally, journaling. See, I had a bad habit, right? When things would happen, I needed to talk to at least 3 people about the situation. Y'all know what I go. But what I thought was venting was actually keeping me in this cycle of negative energy. And the person I was telling, I was bringing them into the negative energy. And then you know what the universe did? Gave me that negative energy right back. So I realized, you know what? I'm only gonna tell one person. And I'm gonna write about it, I'm gonna process it, and I'm gonna let it go. Self-awareness is not a destination, it is a journey. And I wanna leave you with these 3 things. Accept yourself, your whole self, because you are a mosaic of your lived experiences. Be a student of yourself. Observe yourself, because you are worth learning about. And write and create your own reality, because you are the sculptor. Taking young people on this journey of self-awareness is so much easier when you've taken that journey yourself. Thank you.